Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you all had an amazing Christmas and this new year is going to be really good to you. This is, of course, a come shop with me at Farmfoods. I did have a few videos to put up. I had an Aldi shop, an Asda shop, but I just feel like too much time has passed now. It was about 2 weeks ago and I really slacked out on the channel a little bit in December, but it's just because it's so busy. The children have so much going on. I obviously have older children that are getting more independent and they have things going on, and then younger children that still really rely on us for everything. So it just means that we're always doing something. And sometimes that means that I don't get to post any videos on YouTube, but that's just the way it is. I'm very thankful to everyone that still keeps coming back and watching. Even though I'm not consistent, I do really appreciate it. But I popped into Farmfoods and I ended up spending, it was about £80, but then I took off the £5 voucher, so that brought it down a little bit. As always, I went in here not expecting to get much and came out with lots. This is in between Christmas and New Year, so it was more snacks to keep us going. And as always, Farmfoods did not disappoint. They had so much. For a start, they had the original Mix Maxes. They were Sia's absolute favourites, and I haven't seen them in shops for ages. They used to have them in Poundland after everywhere else stopped selling them, but they are back, and I'm very happy about that. I didn't really need much going in here. I only popped in because we were here anyway. We were close by doing some shopping, but I've literally shopped everywhere in these last couple of weeks. And as you do at Christmas, we had a full fridge, full cupboards. So I went in with low expectations and came out with nearly a trolley full. But that always seems to happen at Farmfoods. It's a bit like Home Bargains and B&M. They show me what I'm going to buy. I go in there for one thing and then find more offers and end up picking them up. I was in a rush. I'm always in a rush, it seems, but this time I was very short on time, so it is a bit of a shorter video than usual. But as you can see, there's so many things on offer. They had all of these packets again, anywhere from 9p to 3 for £1, and they are perfect for like casseroles and chicken and seasoning for your chicken that you put in the bags and then put in the oven. They also still had the 10 for £10 on. I think that's been a full year now. That's been on. It's like a long-term offer rather than dipping in and out. Sauces is another thing that we tend to buy here. So they had the barbecue, the tomato sauce, and I think it was garlic mayo, and they were all 99p. And then I was tempted to get some of the chicken that's now 3 for £16. It used to be so much cheaper, but I just find that getting it from Iceland, the children prefer that one, and they are much cheaper. They had these Jamie Oliver star-runs like the Pace, and they were all 49p, and I think there's like 5 different things. I've not seen those before. I've not even seen them in the normal supermarkets. They did also have, I missed it at the start, but they had some washing powder. I was sure I took a video of it, but I must have just missed it somehow. And it was £5.99, and I think that was for 56 washes, which is obviously a really good offer. These Reese's cups, they were only 60p, and they are Logan's favourite thing. So I did pick him up a pack of those. They also have them really reduced in Tesco at the moment. So Tesco have all of their Christmas chocolate reduced. And for the bag of them, it's only £2 instead of supposedly £6, although I'm not sure it was ever that much to start with. I picked up the 10 for £10, but I did only get 10 this time. So usually I would do this twice over. However, Iceland have them 15 for £15 at the moment, and they actually have quite a few things in there. A good selection, which is much better than usual. So I just picked up the chicken Kievs, a couple of sides, and then they only had 2 packets of chicken nuggets, I believe it was. So I got some pizzas as well, just to stock up that freezer, although when I got home, I did struggle to fit it all in. And I don't think we're going to need to do a freezer shop for a little while. We are trying to go back to cooking from scratch. We sort of have periods where that's all we do, and we always try and make sure that they have a homemade meal, but then sometimes things just take over and we end up with freezer food, especially for lunches. I find it a lot easier to just throw this in. But that's something we will be working on again in the new year. I'm going to do a whole new year, new me thing because this time of year isn't a great time. And if you're going to start changes, I think you can do it any time in the year. It doesn't need to be today. They had lots of offers on free bentos. So I think their meatballs and like their mints in a tin and stuff, that was all reduced. And they also had is it Harry Ramsden peas? They were reduced right down to, I think it was 59p as well, which is really good for a name brand. But they have their peas on 3 for £1, carrots on 3 for £1, and lots of other farm food related ones really cheap too. I had seen this cheese was down to 99p, but I think I missed that offer. I think that was like one of their Christmas offers before Christmas, but I still think 3 for £5 is a really good deal. And we go through so much cheese, so much of it, so that will be gone in no time. Again, they've changed up the offers for the 3 for £3 in the fridges. I think it's 2 for £2.50 now and 3 for £3. And they don't seem to have as much choice to go in there. There still is a lot, as you can see here. It's like 2 fridges full, which is because it's a bigger store, because in the smaller stores, they definitely don't have this amount of choice. But it is perfect for lunch boxes, for snacky items, for quick, convenient snacks. And I literally just went for the cheese strings and for the chicken. I was going to get the dairy mousses too, but again, they're on 10 for £10 at Iceland at the moment. So we had already had a bunch of those delivered and I didn't need to get any more. I did go for the milk slices, of course, because they are 99p here. I think the minimum they are in any other store is £1.50. And if you watch this channel, you will know by now, they will be gone by the end of the day. It is literally the children's favourite. Every single one of them like them. So even by getting 2 or 3 packets, it's only 1 cake each. My toilet roll fell from the bottom. These trolleys aren't as good. They don't have the part at the bottom to hold them on. And they do take up quite a lot of space in the trolley. Noodles, one of our favourite things to get here. These were reduced down, these jalapeno bites. I didn't pick any up. I was thinking about it. But again, we've got party food from Asda. That was on I think it was 7 for £10. So we're all stocked up on party food for the new year. And we still had some from Christmas. They had the lose the pot noodles there, but they only had a couple and it was 5 for £1 again. I just went for those hot pot ones, the Maggie ones. Again, they were only 29p, I think it was, maybe 19p, and they had lots of them this time. So I got 2 full trays of them. The children really like them, and I think they're actually starting to enjoy those more than the actual pot noodles. They also had J2O on offer, but we don't often buy that. This right here, sparkling water, that was 6 for £1. And they are 4 packs as well, but I didn't pick any up because I'm not sure if the children would have gone through it. And I don't just want to buy it because it's cheap. But that is a lot of sparkling water for your money if that is your type of thing. Again, they actually had some of the Ben & Jerry's. I was going to pick some up, but honestly, I knew after I picked up the 10 for £10, we were going to be struggling for freezer space. It has meat in there. We've been buying meat on offer. It has all of the stuff from Iceland. Another thing that has been really impressive in Farmfoods at the moment is their range of cleaning and their toiletries. So usually we pick ours up at Home Bargains, and I think that this is very similar to those type of prices. They have some really good variety in there as well. It just seems the section seems to be getting bigger and bigger. Has those links in there, Nivea, Radox, Dove, you name it. They have every single brand name, and it is a lot cheaper than the other supermarkets. I think the only place that matches it on price is Home Bargains, and even here some of the prices are a lot better. Cereal too, they had so many different cereals. I'm not really picking them up at the moment because the children are not getting through them, really. We still have about 5 different boxes in the cupboard. They just tend, maybe because it's the holidays, but they're tending to have cut breakfast rather than having cold breakfast. So we will wait until we get through those before we buy any more. That's another we're going to try and work on is food waste. To be fair, not a lot goes to waste in our house because somebody will eat it. But with the cost of everything at the moment and everything seems to be going up, it's just something that we're going to keep an eye on. Snacks are always something, and chocolate that are really good prices in Farmfoods. And again, today, everything is a lot cheaper than you would get it in the stores. But I was only in here for a few things, so I did only pick up a few pieces of chocolate. The Kinders, because they're a lot cheaper in here, and then some Freddles too, because again, they're £1.50 everywhere else, so it works out a little bit better to get them here. All of these washing powders, so the 100 wash ones at the bottom, they were all only £20, which I thought was really good. I picked up some of these for the children's jeans to see if they work to hold the colour in them. But in total, I spent, I think it was about £81. It came down to £76 after I used the voucher. I did remember this time to screenshot it. Someone told me on here, because the internet, it doesn't work in the stores. This whole retail site, none of the stores have any internet in them. So someone told me to screenshot the vouchers, and that worked a treat. And to have that extra £5 off, even more if you're spending more, considering how cheap the prices already are, works out really, really well. Sorry that this one was a little bit shorter and maybe a little bit more rushed than usual, and I hope you all have a really good new year and you had a lovely Christmas.